So here we have damages. When you want to receive compensation for damages to your property or your ability to earn money or your reputation. Disbursement. This means funds and the cost of funds that are distributed. So whether you have to pay electricity or other bills that were owed to the property that you've now purchased, or other monies you've received that needs to go out to different vendors. Conveyancing, that is the legal term and the legal movement of deeds from one owner to another owner. Right. Breach of contract. This is when a contract is broken because one party or the other or both no longer agree to the terms of the contract and have gone against these terms. Injunction. This is when the court or somebody with authority and power intervenes and makes the proceedings stop for a while. Very similar to adjournment. So in a court, we'll get onto this word in a moment, but in a court, there could be an adjournment where everybody stops and breaks and goes away maybe for the weekend or for lunch. So it just means a break in the proceedings. Okay, freehold and leasehold. A freehold is when you own the land that your home is on. And a leasehold is you just you just own the property. So for example, like a commercial property, you may have a leasehold where you don't own the land, but you do own the building on it. Sometimes there are additional costs, like ground rent for the upkeep of the trading estate, for example. All right. A will, a last will and testament. This is your wishes that you want the family to abide by, is normally given to a solicitor to look after until after your death. But again, these are only your wishes. If it's against the law or if there's some other reason that it cannot be upheld, then it is only your preferences and what you would like to happen. It's not legally binding for other actions to happen. Like, I want next door to be my property, and when I die, I want it to go to my nephew or my son. It doesn't work like that. Wishes, what's within the capabilities of your estate, what you own of your property and all your belongings, your estate. Suit, much like in America, a lawsuit, money or prosecution suit. Domicile, so this is personal, private home of your address, my personal domicile. There are different regulations about this. You might have seen on Breaking Bad the guy shouting out, "This is my personal domicile, you cannot enter," in America. Very funny. You should watch Breaking Bad. It's amazing. Okay, prosecution, that is the government or the legal aspect of the government that want to prosecute you either financially or legally for crimes. And sometimes it could just be one company against another company. So, and then we have a defendant. Again, this is generally legal criminal situation. You have a defendant, "I didn't do it, I swear." And then you have the prosecution, the government, "Oh, yes, you did. We have evidence." Solicitor, again, in America, it's lawyer, but same thing. Barrister. Now, you might see on TV, barristers wear a wig, a special wig, because there's a lot of history in the British law system. The British law system is around a lot of the world. A lot of the world use a variation of the British legal system, which came from naval. You think of somebody in the dock, and also giving birth and looking after somebody else's documents and deeds and property. A lot of this comes from naval. And like Spain, Portugal and Netherlands, we had some of the biggest naval industry in the world in the past. Right, we digress. All right, let's carry on. So barrister, generally only the High Court, like Crown Court. You don't see a barrister in Magistrates Court. So we said adjournment already. That is a break, maybe the weekend, maybe for lunch, whatever. Witness, as you might expect, is a testament from a witness, maybe in the street, or maybe even an expert witness. And then bail. Bail is the contract that you are released, normally only from criminal issues. And maybe if you're not a harm to society, the public, then you'd be released on bail, and you'd have to put up some money to make a contract to prove that you're going to come back at the agreed time by the judge. So maybe part of your bail is to wear an ankle monitor, around your ankle, to show that you haven't left the country, or that you might have restrictions that you've got to be in your home by 9 o'clock at night. Generally, though, the ankle monitor is for specific situations. But in general, bail is just a contract and an agreement between the person that is going to court and the legal system or the government. We said witness, we said verdict. This is good. This is the end. This is when generally they say, yes, you're free to go, or it's a guilty verdict and we're going to sentence you to however many years in prison. So a verdict, that's basically the conclusion. Acquittal, that is when there is obviously not enough evidence, you didn't do it, and there's no way anybody can argue or prove against all reasonable doubt that you didn't do it. So acquittal is it's finished, you can go, there's not enough information or evidence to state otherwise. CPS, also known as the Crown Prosecution Service in England. It may be a little bit different for Scotland. Crown Prosecution Service. So as I mentioned then, Crown, so we have Crown Court, which is the High Court for real big serious issues, maybe issues that are that the public are involved with. Some things are very, very sensitive and so need to go to Crown Court or have a lot of publicity. And then there's magistrates for the, in America, would you say, misdemeanors, the smaller crimes, theft, burglary, assault, that kind of thing. And then finally, what would you say to the person in charge? So in some situations, it could be Your Honour, especially in Crown Court, or My Lady, or My Lord. So you have to find out exactly which way to address the judge. All right? So different options there. Okay, any more questions? Put a message down below. I'll see you next time.